What's up all? As I had recently discussed on my last video, I ended up selling my 2016 Street Glide and got a new to me 2022 Lowrider ST. We'll get into it. So I believe there's a reason why so many people are moving on to this riding platform, and it's because it handles amazingly, it looks extremely badass, and it absolutely rips. So as I mentioned, this is a 2022 model. It has the 117. I was really happy to get this one from a private party because it has the 2-into-1 S&S pipe. It has the S&S teardrop air intake. It has a Woods Performance cam installed. It has an 8.5-inch OG Moto riser pullback. So yeah, the bike is pretty much just sitting exactly where I want it. It also did come with this whiplash seat. I do like it, but I do think that eventually I'm gonna go a different route. I just personally really love my Saddleman on my Street Glide. But yeah, I am extremely happy with this bike. So for anybody that is looking into possibly getting a lowrider or a lowrider ST, as I mentioned, these are the 8.5-inch OG Moto pullback risers. I'm about 5'9", 5'10". These things are really comfortable for me. They're just under shoulder height, which isn't too low and isn't too tall. So these are really comfortable. With this seat, I'm curious to see what I would feel like on a Saddleman, because I know that my previous Saddleman did have a little extra cushion on it, so it might sit me up a little bit taller, but with this seat and its profile, I'm able to flat foot pretty easily. As I mentioned, I did put the, I think it's 8-inch or 8.5-inch, I can't remember, Clockworks windscreen up front. I drove this thing home about 2 hours, and with the stock windshield, I was getting absolutely beaten. I'm not used to riding for a couple of hours without the fairing that I was used to on the Street Glide, but I have to say that this thing makes a world of difference. You can go 80, 90 miles an hour and sit very comfortably behind this thing. It puts the wind, above your helmet or right at, the top of your helmet, which is plenty doable. You get lots of good airflow through the vents, so you don't feel super hot and stuffy. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's any points at all that I would want to know, but yeah, let's hear it. So one thing that I will note that was a little underwhelming for me coming from a twin cam to the Milwaukee 8 engine was basically just at the stock level. I had test rode a couple of these bikes from the dealership, and they basically at idle and at startup just sounded like a hybrid car. I mean, they literally had no sound. And for me, on a Harley Davidson, I want some sound. So I obviously don't have that problem given the work that's been done to the bike. But that was a huge reason why I was just I'm just gonna buy a used one that already has all this stuff on it that I basically would have had to dump the money into anyways to get it where I wanted it to be, and save myself thousands and thousands of dollars by doing so. The bike only had 3,000 miles, so that's pretty brand new to me. But anyways, let's just give her a listen. Yeah, all in all, I am extremely stoked on this bike. I would 10 out of 10 recommend that you get rid of your Street Glide and get a Lowrider ST like I did. But realistically, I came from a 103 twin cam to a 117 on a much more nimble and lighter framed bike with way more power. So I'm really happy about that, while still getting some of the amenities behind the fairing and with the bags that I got to enjoy on the Street Glide. So to each their own, but as far as how I ride and the things that I'm looking for out of a bike, this does answer that call. So yeah, if you have any questions at all on the bike or on any of the parts that are on the bike, just drop me a comment. I'll get back with you. But yeah, for now, I think I'm ready to blip and dip.